I'm gonna dip out at 8.
That's fine.
The following may contain language which will be offensive to some people and inappropriate for children. Still here? Then pour your favorite beverage and let's get this fucking show started.
Fantastic Forum, assemble, and take off our overlay. No. Okay, look, we're starting wonderfully buggy, ladies and gentlemen. Fantastic Forum, assemble. You're watching Fantastic Forum, the premier show about comic books and your live weekly conversation about entertainment and geek culture. We are the Fantastic Forum, coming to you live and direct from the Hall of F. Hope you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, as the case may be, depending on where you are in the world. And if you're not, stick with us. We'll help you take it up a notch. You have the usual suspects in the building. First, he is our riddle inside of an enigma trapped in Chinese finger cuffs. You don't know him. You love him anyway. He's our silent assassin, Jay.
Hey, what's up?
Look, that's like after he just downed a bottle of vodka. No. Okay, maybe it wasn't vodka. But who knows? Who knows? Next, he is our intrepid senior reporter. He's next in line for the cowl. He's our resident Dark Knight detective. It's Oz.
Oh, it's a lot funnier if I had the sound on.
Oh, what did you
Nothing. Just keep moving. Keep it moving.
Oh, see. Well, Oz is definitely not drinking vodka. It's probably whiskey.
Act like my colon and
carrot.
keep it moving.
Oof.
Like you're talking
that-
about starting Mad Buggy. This is a carrot.
Where is that? You got that from Aldi? Where you get that from?
No, from Smarter
Garden?
Final.
From
Yeah.
Final. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there it is. Those dulcet tones belong to the friggin' backbone, the pillar, the strength of Fantastic Forum, our nigh invulnerable brawler and resident strongman, Moses Magnum.
Larry, man, you keep getting more and more photogenic as you get littler and littler.
Listen, I'm
Look at this
I'm
motherfucker. Like, you should have seen
I'm
him at the barbershop earlier. He had his legs crossed. That's how little he is now. He could cross his fucking legs.
wait, I could always cross my
He
legs.
looked like
I-
all he was missing was a copy of the New York Times right there while he's getting his haircut, looking like Black Don Draper.
Oh, listen, I'll take it. I'll be Black Don Draper minus the misogyny, though. That's it.
The product of his time.
Yeah, listen, I'm not knocking him. I'm just saying,
The product of the patriarchy.
right, exactly. Yeah, I'm just saying that's one of the characteristics of his. That's probably one of the few I don't aspire to. Outside of that, I might be good.
I wasn't as
maybe
bad
a
as
little
the
bit.
other guys.
Look, I think he just packages it different.
Like, even
But
his homophobia was different than the other guys.
that's true too. Yeah, man. I
He
like
was
that
kind
show.
of progressive, even though he was still in that time. Larry froze. At least on my end.
Okay, I'm back. I'm like, what happened? I looked.
His
Did I
internet
freeze?
got
What
skinny
happened?
too.
I know exactly. I'm like, what is going on? But
His
no, like
bandwidth lost girth.
my listen. No, that's my fault. I messed around and forgot to plug in like a dummy. I'll do it. Okay. Anyway, my name is Lawrence Young. They call me Mayor Young. I didn't plug in my computer to the hard line. Welcome to Fantastic Forum. We got a great show for you today, though, because we're going to be talking to you all about the latest show in the Star Wars universe, Skeleton Crew. So we're going to talk about that, and we're also going to be talking to you all about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Naruto crossover #1. So we got that going on as well. So and of course, whatever else it is that you all want to talk about, and we'll tell you how it is that we can do that in just a moment. But before we do, we want to make sure that we thank Mr. Scott Rubin, because without him, the show would not exist. So thank you, Scott Rubin. Hope all is well, good sir. And with that said, let's have the intern inform you all how to get down with FF.
Want to get in on the action? Call Fantastic Forum on Skype and join the fun. Too shy to call in? That's okay. You can join the Discord chat room available at
fantasticforum.live.
Join the party. You know you want to.
Yeah. So do what the intern says, fantasticforum.live. You can go ahead, hit call in button. You'll be the 5th member of Fantastic Forum. Or you can always jump into YouTube chat, into Twitch chat. We'll take your comments directly out of chat and bring them into the show, such as Hexzilla. Bring in that witty chat comment here. Funky ass carrot, he says, which is true. That was a funky ass carrot. Are y'all going to eat that?
No, we're going to give it to the dogs.
Oh, but it's fine though, right?
Yeah, it's fine. But the dogs eat that's how I found it. Emily said, look at this shit, because she was giving it to the dogs and I thought I'd share with you guys.
Oh, that's so funny. Like, so you were going to give a carrot to the dogs regardless, and
That
it so
carrot,
happened to
yeah,
look like
is
a chew toy.
It's their carrot, yeah.
It's their carrot. Got it. That's cool. I didn't even know dogs eat carrots like that.
Yeah.
You don't know a lot of things about dogs, there.
That's
Because he
true.
hates
I've never had a dog. Say what now?
Because he hates them.
No,
Well, they're
I
harder to
love
kill than the
dogs.
cats.
They're what?
They're harder to kill than the cats you kill.
Wait, I don't kill any animals. First of all, that's number one. But no, I just always had lived in apartments. I've never like lived in an actual like house to have a dog, like, you know.
I had dogs in apartments too.
Well, yeah, but okay. Like, yeah, I did not have not. So yeah. So anyway,
I was also a bad tenant.
that's fair. That's fair. Anybody got anything they want to say or anything that we should mention before we get started, or are we good to go?
I say we just get started.
Let's do it. Boom. Let's do some TV. Jay didn't know we were going to do TV today. It's okay, Jay.
Also,
no, it's more about gel coat.
When the 4th round would...
Don't you call it?
doesn't look good already. Jumbo Scampi for limited.
All right. All right.
He also forgot to turn on his light.
Oh, yeah,
No,
Jay.
I didn't.
We did?
No, it's on.
No.
Oh, jeez, Jay. You're getting blacker. I don't know if you know.
It's darker in the winter.
Jay did not even react. He was just like, okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's all right. I'm with you, Jay. Here we go. So, Star Wars, Skeleton Crew, latest Disney Plus show. I believe, is it John Watts that helped create and direct this joint? I think.
Yeah.
And you know, I'll tell you. Look, I'm gonna start real quick. That when I heard about this premise, I was just like, that sounds completely terrible. Like
how was this described to you? Because I knew the name Skeleton Crew as a Star Wars project, but I had no idea what it was.
Oh, okay. See, so no, so I look, and it's funny because I'm pretty sure if I'm remembering right, Jay and we had a conversation about this because the show was definitely like, I feel from a promo perspective a little bit lower key than a lot of the other stuff that have been coming out previous. And I don't know if that's because it's
No,
like,
I wouldn't have spent a lot advertising it.
I don't know if it was like because it's kind of like a remnant of some of the last regime Star Wars stuff, or you know, I don't know what, or if they're just like, hey, you know, because coming off the Acolyte and they're like, man, we spent a whole bunch of money trying to promote that and that didn't go the way we liked. I'm not sure what the thought process behind it was, but I do feel like it was definitely lower key in regards to marketing wise. But it was just like what I knew about it was that it was centering around children inside of the Star Wars universe, and I knew that they got were on like some sort of ship or something like that and get like marooned. And so, it was like kind of like a Lost in Space type vibe, but like minus the parents in the Star Wars
The
universe.
Goonies.
Yeah, I was waiting to hear
Slash the
Goonies.
Goonies. Yeah, slash Goonies, right. But I was just like, I don't know if that's a good premise for Star Wars. What did you all think?
We know how much I love kids.
Nah, Moses Magnum. Everybody knows he's a man of the children.
I mean, like, I didn't know what it was about. I was like Oz, and then I saw an interview with Jude Law talking about, when I met all the kids, it was magical and like kids, and then like, so I didn't research anything, but then I started seeing the promos on like Black Friday or whatever, Thanksgiving Day, where they're playing commercials with a bunch of those little Star Wars kids on it. And it said Skeleton Crew on it. So I'm like, that's those kids. And I'm like, then I watched it, and the opening was like awesome because it's like it's kind of like a parallel to like the Vader entrance from A New Hope, but with piracy. And I love space pirates, so it's like, and then the dude comes out and he looks cool and he's badass, and then he only gets that opening. I'm like, I'm in, and then they go to the planet of Arcadia, California.
The planet of Arcadia, like, it is very suburban, right? It's like super suburban.
Like it looked like Atwater Village. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this is a disappointment for Star Wars. Like, I was complaining about the Robert Rodriguez episodes looking like Power Rangers, the ones that he directed, and then this shit comes out and it looks like fucking. They literally just filmed this shit like 20 miles away. Like, it doesn't look like a galaxy long ago and far away, And I was like, I was pissed about it until they went to space. I was already pissed about the kids, but the story was good enough that I, let go of that aversion to kid adventure shit that I don't like. So I enjoyed until they kept going back to the fucking house. And it looked like the Brady Bunch house. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I'm gonna see Bobby Brady running down the stairs, and then the droid kind of sounds like him. It's bullshit. And yeah, that design was poor choice. Like, the kid was running around with a JanSport, who had outdoor gear. The tablet even made the Trapper Keeper sound. Like every time he flipped a page, and it's like, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I got my iPad's more advanced than that shit that he has, but his house is like amazing. Like, it looks like 70s fucking Brady Bunch house, It's like that is a poor, like, to finish that thought, it was a poor design. They designed that shit poorly. The costume design was terrible. They focused on the pirates more than anything. Pirates is easy, like whether they're space pirates or ship pirates. A long coat and boots is all you need over whatever clothes they're wearing, And even that looked a little uninspired for space pirates, for Star Wars space pirates, Like, I miss George Lucas, man.
Well, I will say this: we have seen space pirates in Star Wars already before, and these space pirates don't look that much different than those, right? I mean,
yeah, but again, that's the uninspired design. Where did you see like space pirates before?
In whatchamacallit a space pirate? What's
Han Solo?
The dude? No,
he's a smuggler. Yeah.
He's a smuggler.
There's a dude like a green like moss on his face. That was a
Oh,
pirate.
that's true too. But I'm
don't
thinking
know who
about
that guy
what's
is.
my man that like he's the guy with the accent that he came to live action just recently, right?
Bane?
In Ahsoka. No, Cad Bane.
This is
But
Cowboy.
right, but no, it's not Cad Bane. It's the dude. Oh man, it's messed up because he's in the ride at Disneyland at the
I don't do on that either. Little
the
kids.
the Hondo. That's his name, right?
From SWAT?
No. Yeah, Hondo Onaka. Yeah,
Yeah, I
Hondo
don't know who that
Onaka.
is.
You don't know Hondo Onaka? Damn it.
No.
Where would he? I feel like he was in. You know what? He was from Rebels. That's why you guys aren't.
Is that-
you all don't love Star Wars?
Is that Salacious Crumb with him, or do they just all look the same to me?
They have a Salacious Crumb in this episode.
Wait, what?
Like a version of a
I
guy that acts like that.
I looked up Hondo, and he's got like a Salacious Crumb looking dude on his shoulder. Sorry, I forgot you guys aren't seeing what I see.
I was like, what? So
I apologize.
Okay. But yeah, so okay, so let's slide. We'll come back to you, Mo. Oz, how did you feel about, like, you went in not knowing anything, so you went in completely like had no expectations to watch this joint, right?
Yeah, similar to what Mo was saying, that opening, while I liked it, I was there thinking like, this dude's losing a lot of his crew just to get to this ship. This better be some gold. And then that obviously, like, they bring that up
Right.
In the opening. And yeah, then you get to the kids at the beginning on their planet, and dude, I wanted Anakin to show up and take care of these kids.
Oh
They were all
man,
just getting,
jeez.
like, the only one that I would let live is the little elephant kid. Because he's just innocent. Like, he's just like hanging out. He was trying to take a bath, and this dude is like creeping up on him on the window.
I love that he didn't think of like, dude, you're looking at me in the window. Like, he didn't even say that. But his
That's
little
because he's done it
siblings,
before.
the little siblings were cute as hell.
Yeah, that's why he's the only one that,
Yeah, nobody cares where he goes. Nobody was looking for him in the forest.
Well, it seems like he's the only one whose parents seem to give a fuck. Yet, like, I don't think I remember seeing them once.
Well, remember look, they got a big family.
Yeah.
So, they're like, and he seems like he's the oldest one. So it's like, okay,
he's probably the middle kid. That's why you can get away.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, but then I saw episode 2, because the ending of episode 1 was like, okay, now something interesting is happening. You get to episode 2, and episode 2 I loved. I thought it was great.
There it is.
Now you got some interesting characters and some adults making, adult decision type things that make sense. And even the most annoying kid, the main kid with the afro, I forget his name. Worm, something like that.
Whim.
Even his character isn't as annoying. Like, he actually does smart things, like hide his money as soon as he sees how valuable it is. Like, so I started feeling a lot better in the second episode than I did about the first. I'm glad they put out the second episode, because I might have just been trashing it nonstop if they didn't.
That's fair.
How much I hate them kids.
Jay, what were your initial impressions of Skeleton Crew?
Well, I went into it not wanting to like it because kids.
Because kids. Does no one on Fantastic Forum are cool with kids? I know we don't have them, but does nobody like children in general?
It depends on how they're portrayed. It's like, dude, Camp Cretaceous, those kids are amazing. Like, I love those kids.
the Jurassic
I knew Star World. Yeah. Those kids are great. But I know Star Wars and Disney kids are different.
Real quick.
Yes.
Camp Cretaceous, is that good?
Dude, Camp Cretaceous is amazing.
We're debating.
You
whether
can check
we should
that out
watch
on
it.
Netflix.
Yeah, we have Netflix. We went through
Oh.
it, and I'm like, you want to watch that? And she's like, yeah. She likes Jurassic Park, so she's like, I kind of want to see it.
1, it's good.
Okay.
2, it's in continuity.
Nice.
Like,
all right.
And I haven't seen the latest series yet, but I did watch the whole original Camp Cretaceous, and it's really good.
Cool.
Like, yeah, I would definitely recommend it. But back to Skeleton Crew. Yeah, I went into it not wanting to like it. So I saw a bunch of problems with the opening bit. They should have started shooting like much earlier than they did. Like they waited till the pirates were already on board to blow up the landing tubes. It's like
they could have destroyed the tube.
Yeah, I was expecting like a flashbang or something and come out there. No, they just came out there like running around.
And then them like the literal definition of a murder hole, and they still got overtaken. And I was just having a bad time. And then these super generic kids, and all I could think was like, this would have been better as a title crawl. Like
everything you're watching.
Yeah. Like, like how movies do, 4 dumb kids, whatever, and then started episode 2, and that works, I think. Like, I did not see need to sit through episode 1.
That's interesting. Okay.
They could have made a tie-in issue 0.
I mean, just the title crawl. 4 kids are stuck on a ship, and 4 kids discover a ship, accidentally lost themselves in the hyperspace.
Yeah, because even instead of a title crawl, they just did like 2 sentences, right?
Yeah. About the general state of the Republic. It's like, yeah, this whole episode could have been a title crawl. And then you get to the real first episode, and it's like, the series is much better if you do think of it that way. Like, I just convinced myself that the first episode was a title crawl.
Like all you need is one of them kids to show up at school is like, hey, you want to see a dead body? And then you just walk over to the ship to look at the droid, and it wakes up, and then boom, there. You start from there.
Listen, okay. Let me jump in here real quick. First of all, let me just bring in this Xenocore comment here because I thought this was interesting. The Xenocore, shout out to Xenocore. Thanks for watching. Said Explorers, Treasure Island, and Goonies all mixed together. That was in reference to like what the show.
One of those 3 things.
I wish they would have used sleepers as an influence.
See, well, the point I was gonna make is that this is an episode right here, or this review is definitely showing everyone's age, because I was just like, Xenocore said that, and I'm like, okay, there's like there are full-grown adults that maybe don't only know like what one of those things are, which I was like, that's wild. Then Mo, you just messed around and mentioned something else that I'm like, yeah, like there's a full-grown adult that's like, I don't know what that is. You mentioned trapper keepers earlier, and they're like, I don't know what a trapper keeper is. Like, Oz, you said something too where I'm just like, man, like we're out here like dating ourselves, like, and I'm like, that's hilarious. But I think part of that is because it's like, okay, you're like this show does feel like it is trying to like tap into some of that like 80s kid adventure nostalgia type deal in a very real way. And that's not something that like we didn't get any of that in like the early 2000s and 2010s, right? Like that's not just like that's a genre that just went away, right?
I mean, we had Stranger Things.
Oh, you're right. even though Stranger Things is like, I guess that does count, but man,
Yeah.
Stranger Things is super dark.
Which is what I like. I'm trying to get at the series. Like, I wish it was. I saw a reviewer. I only read the headline because I don't want to be tainted by a review for my review. So,
Okay.
but the headline was like, "It's fun for kids and adults," and I'm like, I just want something that's fun for adults. So, so Stranger Things, was it dark? Like, I like my kids' stories darker like that, like I want to see Mystic Rivers, but Star Wars.
But oh, Mystic River's good too. Jeez, again, cats are like, what is he talking about?
Like,
no, what is a Mystic River?
If they're already using Arcadia as a backdrop, they might as well use like Maryland,
Here's like what I'll say is this, and I'm gonna say two things. One, Star Wars is all ages, right? So I mean, don't get me wrong, we've gotten more edgy stuff recently with things like Andor, and you might even like Rogue One is definitely an edgier side, and I'm not saying they shouldn't make that stuff because I love it. What I am saying is, it's like you can't be mad at Star Wars for trying to appeal to everybody, because that's what Star Wars generally does, right?
Mm-hmm.
The second thing I'll say is, like I told you, like I mentioned earlier, like I listened to this premise, I was like, that doesn't sound like a good thing to make in Star Wars to me. But what I will say is, like, this show actually like won me over pretty quickly. Like, the opening I liked, and then even when we get to like the kids, and I'm looking and I'm like, yeah, like I was like, dude, like this is like a straight up suburb in the Star Wars universe, and that's weird because we don't have suburbs in the Star Wars universe generally, like, or at least not that I know of, right? But like, not only did I like the kids and think that they're interesting characters, and I personally found like the background for each of them interesting, but there's a story reason in regards to why they live where they live and how it looks. And we don't know like the full story, but we've been teased enough. Huh?
Where they live, yes. How it looks is the design flaw. Like,
no, see, I don't know that that's true though.
It is, because it looks too much like Earth. Like,
but that might be by design.
Why? Because they went to fucking they read the New Yorker magazine and shit, and they get designed on how to civically do that shit. They don't get that. They don't have Frank Lloyd Wright designing shit. They don't subscribe to his Substack and see how to design houses civically in Star Wars.
I didn't have an issue with it either.
Yeah, I mean, like, technically,
even without a story reason, I was fine with it.
I like the idea of a suburban equivalent in Star Wars as a sci-fi fantasy. I don't need it to look like Earth.
Well, but what do you want it to look like?
I want it to be something I've never seen that gets that point across. That's what I see every time I see Star Wars, anything Star Wars, any new planet, any new city I've never seen. When I first saw Coruscant, it was like that, for me.
Yeah.
So, and this wasn't that. Like, if you're going to explain a new concept into the Star Wars mythos, you got to design it right. And that's one of the reasons I said I miss Lucas, because he wouldn't let this shit come out like that. Yeah. He would have spent he would have spent 5 years trying to make that like look like something similar but fantastical,
See, and I guess that's the thing where I guess from my perspective, I'm kind of like, oh, it's like a suburb, like it looks regular. And don't get me wrong, it still has Star Wars, like a little bit of like like a little bit of the like Star Wars like dashes of it.
What? What does it have Star Wars dash?
Like the houses look like kind of have like the Star Wars habitat-ish type
spiral staircase.
No, I'm talking about like the outside, like the outside garage? Look. No, the outside of the houses, they look like like how habitats and things like that look like
They
in
look
Star
like the
Wars.
Brady house.
You're looking at the inside. The
No,
outside
the
doesn't look like the Brady house.
Outside looks like the Brady house.
It look, if you go back and you look at the houses on the
There's
outside,
literally a Spanish and ranch next to each other by the cul-de-sac.
they
And there
look-
shouldn't be
they look-
cul-de-sacs in Star Wars.
Why not?
They wouldn't call it cul-de-sac. It'd be something else. It'd be like blah, blah, blah.
But yeah, man. And so it's like they have like the little touches, but I like for me, I was like, and it immediately, like, I was like, huh, why does it look so regular though? Because and I asked myself that question. And then when you get to the second episode, I was like, oh, maybe there's a reason that they almost toned down the future aspects of it. But it doesn't look not futuristic. It just looks like a toned down futuristic, and that might be because technically over there they might be behind a little bit, a little bit. Not, like there may not be, or they may choose to live simpler for some reason, like that's the vibe that I was kind of getting, especially after episode 2, where I'm like, oh, like they're doing something different over there. So, but hey, to each their own. Like I'm sure I'm sure that there's more people that agree with you than agree with me in
see
that
more houses
particular
in
regard.
Compton look more sci-fi than that.
Yeah, man.
The projects look more sci-fi than that.
How do you all feel about the characters outside of the kids? I know you all kind of touched on it or whatnot, but like what about you, Mo? How do you feel about the additional characters?
The dad's a scumbag, but that's for a reason.
Which dad?
I mean, there's only one dad.
You're talking about the Wim's dad?
Yeah, that's the only dad they ever showed.
Why is he a scumbag?
Because he'd rather work than spend time with his kid.
I mean, he has to provide for his kid, right?
Provide what?
Like, he might have to
Money's not gonna
pay a
teach that kid.
mortgage.
Yeah, mortgage ain't gonna teach that kid how to be a man. How to not scream when he sees a dead droid.
How to not scream when he sees a dead droid.
Like, like the kid, the reason he wants adventure is because he's missing his fucking dad. But again, that would make this show not existent.
He went out into space and found a new, better dad.
Yeah.
Oh, he found a space dad?
Jude Law over there is going to show him what it's like to be a man.
Sucks at using the Force.
Well, he's not a Jedi, though, is he? I don't think he is. I don't know what he is.
I don't think
He's
so.
kind of, no, but he still sucks. Like, the key's like, it's like,
listen,
you can see the string on that shit.
He's supposed to suck, though. I actually hated how quickly people picked it up in Ahsoka. Where, like, suddenly they're fucking doing all the crazy shit out of nowhere. Like, man, Jedi been training for years to be able to do shit like that.
Who picked stuff up quickly in Ahsoka?
What's her face with the, like, purple hair?
Oh, come on, man.
She got real good real quick.
I'm gonna leave.
Practice before?
I don't know.
Go ahead, Jay.
That was her second training.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not even gonna tell you how that was. Jay, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I don't know if they're still doing this or not, but different Jedi or Sith are generally better or worse at different things.
Right.
Like you could be a master of one thing, but telekinesis might just be your blind side.
I just didn't like the effect. Like you could see the string in it. Like it was a string motion. It wasn't even like, oh, this guy's just not good at the Force. Like it's the string that the intern ran across. Like
I think that makes him more interesting because I see him, and I could be wrong, but I see him as he was born a Force user in a time that there's nobody to train Force users.
Yeah,
that could be the case.
I mean, well, I guess Luke is out there, and Ahsoka's out there. Cal Kestis is out there.
There's so many.
I mean,
like that's one of the things I was telling
Grogu's out
Emily.
there.
Like, one of the things I hate about this Disney Star Wars is that we were under the impression that there's like very like 1 or 2 Jedi out there, and now there's a ton, and then nobody thinks to like search
not
out
a
for
ton.
new Jedis. There's like 19 episodes about them.
There's probably more Jedi out now than
in the
what-
books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even think that's true. But I'm just saying, like, one, there's not that many Jedi or Force users just in general. Then two, it's like you're talking about throughout like the galaxy. Like it's
a small galaxy.
It's literally infinite. Like it's like but it is.
Yeah,
though,
but they
right?
make it so easy to go to find.
If it's such a big galaxy, why are we always on Coruscant?
We're not.
But Coruscant is the center.
Yeah.
All roads lead to Coruscant. But yeah, man. So yeah,
Arcadia is technically in the far reaches, right?
Nobody even knows where that is. They're like, I heard about that. You're from Atlantis. That's where you from.
Oz, how did you feel about these other characters?
What other characters? Well, all the kids.
Okay, there it is. Just the kids.
The kids suck in the first one. In the first episode, they're better in the second. I really love Smee.
Dude, Smee is great, right? Like I thought that was hilarious too.
It should bug me that he sounds so much like a goddamn pirate. Like I don't think he should talk like that, but for some
he sounds
reason,
like an old robot though.
But it's also he doesn't have like a straight up accent either. Like he uses a lot of the mannerism, but not a straight up accent. So I think that saves it for me. And I love the peg leg too.
Yeah, it helps that he was really messed up when they found him.
Yeah, and
exactly.
the eye, like he's got every trope. Yeah, and the little rat instead of a parrot.
Yeah, dude. It's like pretty funny how it's like they're literally using they're using every like pirate trope on a droid, but without actually like doing it, which is great though, because you get all of that you know what they're doing, but it's like in the same way how it's like, oh, they call me SM33, and I'm sure like there's half the audience that didn't pick up on Smee.
Yeah.
Like the 100%. Oh, did you see? And that's what I'm saying, right? It's what I'm saying. Where it's like, I know for me, as soon as I heard it, I was like, "Oh man, they call this fool Smee." I was like, "I love it."
That's the Disney multiverse. Like he's a variant.
He's a variant. Yeah. Jay, did you like any of the characters that weren't the kids?
Oh, they were fine.
So that's kind of maybe a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they don't stand out that much, but it's only been 2 episodes.
Right. I liked Brutus. Y'all didn't like Brutus?
Which one was Brutus?
I don't know the alien, but the wolf-looking guy.
Oh yeah, that guy was good. Yeah.
I'm hoping
I liked all the pirates, like, and even like when they got to that like pirate planet or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that's I like that too. That's very Mobius, like heavy metal stuff. What's the dude that did City of 1,000 Planets or Planet of 1,000 Planets or something?
What were you trying to say, Oz?
I like that Urkel's in it. It's always good to see he's still alive.
Yeah, I like that guy. He was good.
Hopefully he does something.
Yeah.
Jaleel White. I'm sure he'll be. Yeah, that was kind of crazy because I was just like, huh. I was like,
I kept looking at his crotch.
Why?
Because he said in his book that when he was Urkel, like they had, you know how he used to hike up the pants, wear small pants and hike them up. So after he hit puberty, he had to like start wearing looser pants because you could see his bulge.
Look,
so
just let Urkel be.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm trying to see maybe Disney lets him do it. But I'm glad he got this role too, because it's like he's not super like it took me a while to recognize him, and then he did good. Like I liked the character before I realized who it was, and then I'm like, oh man, that's the shit. And then I also liked him as Sonic. So now he's like in 2 franchises that I like.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Well, cool. So, you know, it's interesting where like how the different members of the forum have different areas where we're like, okay, like this bothered me, that bothered me, this I liked, that I liked. You were not a big fan of the suburban look of things, which I personally, like I said, I didn't have an issue with, but I did take note of because I was like, we don't normally do that. But one thing that bothered me, which as much as I did enjoy that opening scene, because I was like, oh, this is interesting, and we're doing some pirate stuff, that's cool. I did feel like, I don't know if that scene was like added in later, like, kind of like a reshoot type deal or something like that. But I definitely felt like some of the effects early in there were like noticeably subpar, which is crazy because I don't normally look at stuff and be like, I don't see that stuff usually. So, if I look at it and I'm like, yeah, that looks a little rushed. That it must be, like, in my mind, I'm like, okay, that must be rushed, because I was just like, yeah, like, so that part, some of the attacks, like the way that the guns that were repelling the boarding things looked a little weird. But yeah, what I will say though is, all in all, this, I was really prepared to like just be like, okay, like write the show off, just because I was like, I didn't think it was going to be anything worthwhile at all. And I was ready for it to like, prove me right as a bad premise. And then I watched it and I was like, you know what? I think I like this. I think I like this a lot more than I would have given myself any credit or any possibility of liking it. But yeah, so do you all have anything else you want to say before we do some ratings?
I think that if you liked it and you want something a little darker, a little edgier, better, watch Star Trek Prodigy.
Oh, you feel like Star Trek Prodigy is that same vibe?
It's better because it's darker. Like, these kids are slaves; they're being whipped and on a slave planet, and they escape, and that they find that abandoned Enterprise that was a Starfleet shuttle.
Prometheus.
Yeah, Prometheus. So they, and then they just start. They're like, oh, they start reading the Starfleet. They become a Starfleet team without being an actual Starfleet team, and they're angry kids that have been, fucked up. They're not like, oh, my suburban life. Oh, I can't. My dad's working too much. I hate my life. I want to become a Jedi. This is like, no, I don't want this guy to rape me and or whip me with a lava fucking whip. So,
oh, sorry, the Protostar.
That's what it was. Yeah. So, yeah, it's definitely, it's if you want something that's all ages but still a little edgier and darker, Prodigy would be it.
Okay. All right. Well, shoot, let's go ahead and do some ratings then. Jay, what would you rate Star Wars Skeleton Crew?
I'd give it a 4 out of 5. I didn't hate it as much as I thought I would. It's much better if you like skip the first episode though.
Oh, okay. Not mad at that. Even though I don't agree, but I'm not mad at it. Oscar, what would you rate Star Wars Skeleton Crew?
I'll probably go 4 also. Yeah, same thing. You could probably skip that first episode. Just get into the second one. But more importantly, and I think Zeno said this earlier too. It's doing something a little bit different from the regular Star Wars stuff, and I've been asking that for that for a while. Like, don't try to put in Pelagius like just to fucking get my attention. Just give me a story about something in this world, and that's what this is.
Okay. Moses Magnum, what'd you think of Star Wars
For
Skeleton Crew?
me,
Would you rate it?
it's a 5 out of 5 because I actually give a fuck what happens to these kids. Like, yeah, as they say, skip the first episode. I ain't gonna say that. Like, the that stuff really, like, it's a well told story, even though faulty design. But luckily, we don't have to deal with that anymore because they're in space now, so they're out of there. But yeah, I love what I saw so far, and I'm pissed that they didn't release it all at once.
There it is. There it
Mo
is.
doesn't want them to ever get home.
Yeah, they shouldn't. Like, that would be the shit. Like, it'd be better than Guardians.
It's not hard to do.
Yeah, like
I'm
if I
gonna go
would
ahead.
see like a future version where like they gave me a show where it was just them as adults, but like this was their origin story, that'd be the shit.
Oh, like them
yeah.
kids from It?
Yeah, exactly. Again, I like my kid fiction differently.
I'm gonna give Star Wars Skeleton Crew a 4 out of 5. Yeah, I actually like. I really liked it. Yeah, I think that's the long and short of it. I liked it a lot more than I thought I would. All right, y'all ready to talk about some comics?
Comic book
Review.
comic book
Like
Review.
well, not like that, but like
All right. Today on the docket we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Whether I don't is it I think it's Naruto crossover, or is it Slash, or not Slash, but
it's Shuriken.
Shuriken.
Yeah, it's technically an X, but so I guess
The
that's
Shuriken.
cross.
That's the cross. Yeah, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cross Naruto.
Shuriken Naruto.
Number 1, Shuriken Naruto. Who wants to talk about this book? Look, Jay, you think you can take it? You think you can make it happen?
Yeah, all right.
All right. Tell us
So
about TMNT.
Takashi and Team 7 are escorting April O'Neil from Hidden Leaf Village to Big Apple Village. They're assaulted by Foot Clan, but before the Foot Clan can do anything, they're ambushed by the Turtles, who proceed to fight Team 7 in a sort of introduction of the characters, and then they stop fighting, and that's issue 1.
Cool. What'd you think, Jay? How do you feel about this particular blending of TMNT and Naruto?
Well, the story's super generic so far. Pretty much stock standard for what you get for stock standard for a crossover event, but the art is amazing.
The art
So
is
it's like
really good.
just looking at it kind of makes it worth it.
How would you compare the art to that Taylor Swift comic?
You are so crazy.
I didn't read that.
Oh yeah, you were here last week.
Joe read it. No. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, the art is pretty ridiculous. Like, and it's one of those things where, I mean, we know that there's already like a bar that gets set with Naruto, that you definitely like can't you can't like pretty much like go too far below because like I'm sure like the folks. It's not often that you get like an actual manga character in American comics, you know. So I'm sure they're not gonna like let these characters come over here and the art be suspect, you know. So there's already that, like, you know, that bar you have to meet, but like the friggin' yeah, the art, it was definitely one of the highlights. Like, not only the actual art itself, but just the design of the characters, like how they decide to go about, which, you know, they meld. And I guess when I say that, I guess what I should say is the design of the Turtles characters, because the Naruto characters, the design is the same for the most part from like a particular era of Naruto.
I'm not sure what it is about April, but I love her design.
Is it that she's like a woman of color redhead?
She's also
not
blonde.
Exactly, but yeah,
like
maybe
she's got bigger arms than any of us.
What, April?
Hey, speak for yourself, white man.
Well, I meant muscular.
Yeah.
Damn.
Like we got them fat arms, but
fuck out of here.
I love how he was like, look at this, you don't know about this.
Yeah. Like Fat Stallone in Copland. Get the fuck out of here.
That's too funny. So I should mention the artist is it's Hendry Protsetya.
But you got to give a shout out to the cover artist, because the cover art is amazing too. And if I didn't get that in the inside, I was gonna be mad. And technically I didn't. It's a different artist, but he did a good job where I'm like, okay, you know, that could easily be fucked up that way, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Jay and I, when we were at the board meeting at IDW, we were like, no, we can't. This is one of the mistakes that these crossovers make a lot of times, you know?
Right.
We've seen it with TMNT in the past with the Batman stuff. So it's like we got to nail it right this time. So we found the right talent, right, Jay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There it is. It's working. Let's see. Like I think the main cover art is Jorge Jimenez, I think.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of different covers, and they're all like many of them are really good. So you know, like there's a lot of like people you could mention, but yeah. But yeah, the design, like I do agree, like the design for April I thought was awesome. But man, like the Turtles, man, I'm sitting here like, when are we gonna get action figures of those? Like I want Anbu, Black Ops, Ninja Turtles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they look fantastic. And it's like if you want to like sell those individually with like all types of accessories, or you want to sell them all four as a set, like whatever, like, you know, just give me enough lead time. No, they're not gonna look good as Lego.
You don't know that.
I kind of do though.
No, you don't. Like I seen stuff that I didn't think was gonna be looking good, and then now all of a sudden I have the whole Chainsaw Man collection.
That's fair. That's fair. I hear you. I hear you. But yeah, how do you all feel about Big Apple Village? Like as far as the concept of, you know, like New York as a ninja village.
For me, it's like they got to kind of make it connect somehow, you know. And I guess this is the way. Yeah.
This is the way.
Like I don't know what else they could do. I mean, like you could do like, you know, dimension
right
going, but then they would have to help Naruto, and then now we have a Naruto. Then we need a second series where Naruto comes to New York and figure that out.
Right.
Which if you watch the last Naruto the movie, you might be able to see how that can happen.
Okay.
But I don't know if you did that. I don't know if you guys are Naruto fans like that.
Right.
Fake
Listen,
ass
I haven't
Naruto
done
fan.
it yet.
Fake ass Naruto fan.
Listen, okay, all right. I'm pretty sure my hundreds of hours say different. I know.
You haven't seen that?
Yeah, you haven't seen that. You ain't watched this one movie. No, look, but I honestly prefer what they did here. Like I know that I think there was like most people were thinking it was going to be like a dimensional kind of thing, and the turtles maybe dropping into the Leaf Village somehow. Which, if you're going to do that, that's the way to do it as far as like dimensional travel thing, and it should totally be a thing where it's like I feel like that should only happen one way. Like the idea of Naruto coming into New York, like that actually makes me really sad. Like because Naruto would leave New York definitely changed. You know?
Not if he lands in Harlem.
Wait, what? Why?
Because dressed like that in Harlem, you just shoot his ass.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's like a sweatsuit. Like I think he'd be all right.
I don't know, with those like sandals and shoes that show his feet. Like,
look, those are like basically Crocs.
Yeah, they don't tolerate Crocs. Yeah, the open toe I think is what messes it up.
That's true. Open toes would be wild, but I'm glad that they did.
Imagine him on the subway when the homeless guy's trying to take a shit next to him. It's like, when the jutsu's that? Like, he turned into a log.
Hex in chat, he says, tracksuit and Birkenstocks? Nah, bro. That's hilarious. But yeah, I feel like the way they went was actually the better way to do it. Like, just kind of like almost as though like, you know, the turtles are a part of that world that they maybe haven't come across yet. Big Apple Village, I have no problem with either, even though, you know, I can imagine there are probably some people that would. But I like even like it legit, like their friggin' headbands with like the Apple symbol on it.
Yeah.
I was like, I kind of like that. Like I'm not saying that I want one. I'm just saying, like, if there was a village called Big Apple, it's like that makes sense to me that would be the symbol for it, right? So
I want one.
No, there it is. I'm sitting here like I'm like, what's LA's Ninja Village name? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it like Angel Village or is it like, you know, I don't know.
Like typhoid from the homeless.
What?
The symbol for typhoid.
Oh, see, look, and that's why Naruto would be changed if he came to our world. Yeah. Comments like that. But yeah, man. But the design, like, just each turtle and how they like just rock, like even just how they did like the Anbu Black Op mask, and how each one had like a different facial expression that pretty much fit the turtle, and I was just like, dude, like that's so cool. Like I'm like, I need that. I need action figures right now. You know, because it definitely felt like the personality of the turtles and stuff. Like Donnie with that vest on, I was like, man, like it's awesome. Okay, look, you've been quiet, Oz. What do you think? How did you like this book?
No, I don't.
You didn't like it.
No.
You don't like any part of it.
Visually, I like the art, but
okay,
I wasn't into it.
Was it because it's kids?
No, actually, I don't like that they're in the Naruto area, world, whatever you want to call it. Like Big Apple Village. Like it's there's fucking skyscrapers in it, and it's still just a village. All right, whatever. It's dumb.
See, but you didn't watch Naruto though. There's skyscrapers in Naruto.
They have their croissant.
I watched. I watched Naruto. I didn't like it, so I don't.
But you
like
didn't
it.
see their
like
curse, huh?
Naruto? Oh, jeez, that's because you have no heart. That's what it is.
Well, he watched like the first three episodes,
Look,
where all he's
his
doing
ninja,
is eating ramen.
his ninja way is broken. Look,
No, I don't know. I just like I like the what you said about the masks that they wear. They look cool, but
yeah.
they bug me that they're wearing them.
Mm.
It bugs me that they run into the turtles outside of the village, where if you're going with the analog of these guys live in the sewer of the city, they should have encountered them in the village at some point.
But they were searching for April.
No, they have April. They're taking her to New York. That's their mission, is to help her get to New York. And they
Well,
get
but the
attacked
turtles don't
outside.
have April. The turtles are looking for April.
I don't know that. They don't say that.
That's literally that's the
They
start.
actually do.
This motherfucker didn't read the comic. He's just looking at the pictures right now.
He's just looking at April's biceps.
And don't get me wrong, they don't say outright like, "Oh, we're out here looking for April." They imply that the reason they were out was because they were looking for April. Like it's
first
implied
thing they say is let April go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
When
they
you
don't
show
know
up,
that.
yeah.
Okay,
Now,
so you agree it's a terribly written comic.
No.
Beautifully drawn, terribly written. We agree.
Now, the part that kind of blew my mind as far as like, oh, that's a weird choice to make, was April being like, oh, I could stop this from happening, or we could just let it play out and see what happens. That was weird. I was like,
and then she complains that she can't get the right footage because they're moving too fast.
right. Where I'm just like, huh. Like I guess, like she's trying to get a story, like trying to get some videos, some nice stuff. So I guess I can understand that, but that definitely feels like not in line with, or not consistent with how April O'Neil usually acts. So that was a little weird.
Hexzilla says she set him up.
And look, and that might be true. Maybe that's what's going on here. I don't know. April's look. This version of April's unsavory. And that has nothing to do with her skin color, you bastards. No. Like, so
in that case, I was gonna tell you you're wrong.
Real quick, I just want to give my rating real quick. I rated a 5 out of 5. But that's mostly the art. The story was average.
Okay. Now look. Well, damn, Jay. Okay, you could have said bye. Could have dropped a final thought or something. Goddamn, damn, Jay. Okay, listen. We're going. Oh.
If you want a final thought, it's Mo should watch Tales of Arcadia since he seems to be obsessed with that place.
What's that about?
Guillermo del Toro's series-spanning cartoon about a guy that hunts trolls, aliens that come to Earth, and wizards.
In Arcadia, California?
Yeah. It's on Netflix.
Okay.
And it's in Arcadia? Oh, jeez, man. This guy.
He said yes, but I don't know if he said yes to me or
That's
you.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We asked 2 questions. Nobody knows what he's talking about. That's all right. I'm going to punch Joe. Not hard, because he's my friend, but
this is his contract negotiations tactics.
Well, listen. Look, he's dropped. He's dropped. It's okay. It's all right.
Announcing a casting call if you want to be on Fantastic.
Oh man. So okay. So Jay liked it. Jay liked it a lot, but it sounds what he liked was the art more than anything. Hexzilla says, I'm right here. There he is. There he is. So yeah, I mean, I don't feel like anybody's been wrong in regards to the story. and it like not necessarily having, this first issue doesn't do anything um very innovative in regards to storytelling. Um, and yeah, it is very by the numbers when it comes to these kind of crossover things, where you have like, you know little bit of a impediment, and then you have the heroes coming together, and then the misunderstanding, so they have to fight a little bit, and we know they're going to end up teaming up. So um yeah, and technically we don't know like who or well, I shouldn't say we don't know. Well, we can't be certain who the bad guys um or who the bad guy is gonna end up being uh for the series. Like it's obviously it's gonna be Shredder on the Ninja Turtle side. um Ultimately on the Naruto side it's probably gonna be Orochimaru, because that's who gets mentioned, or who gets like the little preview panel
Mhm.
in the book, right? So it's like, I guess that would make sense in that era. Like it'd be those two. Um, like I don't understand, or I won't say I don't understand. What I'll say is the idea of those two guys teaming up together to like be like the bad guys against all of those folks. That seems a little I don't know. Like it feels like they would not like each other. But I could be wrong about that. And maybe, maybe they will end up having like a compelling story to have those guys like end up in the same orbit somehow. But it hasn't started yet.
One of the things, because two of our uh team of four here didn't like the story, but one of the things this does well, even though they say it's poorly written, is they still keep with the mutagen thing for the
Hmm.
turtle side,
Oh
and
yeah.
and it affects the Naruto side too, because
Hmm.
when they see a human hybrid, they're like, "Oh, is it a spirit animal? Is it a summon?" And
Hmm.
that's something that, like, if this was truly poorly written, this wouldn't have they wouldn't even thought to include this aspect when combining uh these two properties, because there is like
Hmm.
a furry aspect to these, and they have different meanings to each one. Like, even if there was like an altered beast Ninja Turtle thing,
Hmm.
it's like they like seeing how the human hybrids could like exist in both worlds concurrently, like is a really interesting point. And I think that, for me, like, between all the action, that the Orochimaru cameo,
Hmm.
and and then just like the ending, the ending itself, I'm like, it sucked me in for issue 2. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I would agree. And you are right in the sense that if nothing else, it's very respectful of, uh, in my opinion, both properties. Because just like you mentioned, it's like you can't have like animal humanoid type things walking around, and it not resonate in in the Naruto universe in a particular way. And like you said, like them having that wherewithal is great. And then for the characters, like for the turtles, for Splinter to like all feel like a different or like a true to character version of themselves, but in a different universe, is pretty amazing. Like,
Mhm.
where it's just like
And I would
like
this is why
even
I
even
wish
like the banter and stuff, I really thought was really cool.
Jay loved us and would stick around for this show, because, like, we could use this as in, like, whatever he didn't like, but compare it to, like, just how we respecting the two properties and being able to convey the mythos and lore of these two properties and do it together is an achievement, because DC couldn't do it with Ruby and
Yeah.
you
Oh,
know. And then they did the Ruby side, and they didn't do it. Like, neither side they handled it well. I don't know what the
right.
Ruby shit is. I don't know. Apparently, it all, like, the Ruby shit was fine. It's the Justice League shit that wasn't, and
Right.
it's like, like, you see stuff like that and then complain about this is kind of like, I mean, I can see why you can. I don't see why you would.
Right.
I'm pretty sure I
So
complained about that one too.
Yeah, but Jay.
yeah.
Oh, Jay, yeah.
Yeah. That's what I said. Like, I started by saying I wish Jay loved us.
Right. It's like, we know that you don't love us, Oz, but at least you have the decency to stay.
Well, it's set till 8, so we gotta hurry it up.
Right. Exactly. Look, clock's tick. Look, Oz,
His cock's ticking.
whoa. So
Did I say? I mean, clock.
So Oz, man. So, like, nothing could necessarily convince you to read issue 2, huh?
No, I mean, well, I'd like to know why Kakashi's using Splinter's slave name, but like
damn.
Will said,
Wait,
there's
what?
mutagen. Yeah, he calls him by his old name.
Well, he knew him when he was, different.
Yeah, but Mo kind of mentioned that where
before he transitioned.
There's mutant mutagen.
Right.
But I'm just not a Naruto fan like that.
And that's fair.
But you can still enjoy something, like, especially when it's a one-off thing. Like,
listen, you're talking to Oz.
Yeah.
How many books is this? Is this?
It's gonna be 4.
Okay.
At least that's what we
maybe.
agree on. They might do 6 to the cash grab. But,
Yeah, I think like, one thing I can say to you is I think Oz has a point in the sense that this book definitely leans heavier into the Naruto side of things. Now, what I think the reason that happens is because the commonality with Ninja Turtles and Naruto is that everybody's a ninja, right? And so if ninja is the commonality, it's like, it's much easier to fit the Ninja Turtles into a ninja world than it is to fit Naruto, the child ninja Naruto, into New York City. Which, again, like I said, I like, that would make me sad, because I feel like Naruto would be broken by, like, what New York City actually is. And I'm just talking about just, like, because Naruto's damn near broken by what his world is, and his world isn't that bad. Oh, like, there's war, but guess what? We got war too.
Right, but his home hates him. Everybody is afraid of him because he's the devil. Yeah, and he still chooses to save these motherfuckers and treat them like shit.
Right, that's true. Yeah, so
it's like he survives on like, remember Oz when in elementary school when he used to get lunch tickets?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he gets that for life because nobody wants to give him food at their house, so he has to eat at a ramen shop every day with a meal ticket that the head dude at the school gives him.
That is true.
But
the ramen shop is awesome.
Yeah, I know there's a ramen shop over here that has the Naruto, like, the actual recipe of what he gets.
Really?
In Bellflower, yeah.
Man, listen, how come you haven't taken me there?
Because you're not my wife, bitch.
Aren't I? Aren't I, Mo? That's not what you were saying last night. Listen.
No, I was calling you a bitch last night too.
Listen, I'm just like, yeah, man, you gotta let me know these things. I want to go to that ramen shop. That sounds awesome. Man.
It sounds better than it is. But I mean, I didn't get that dish, but Yeah, now I want to. Well, especially after
There it
watching
is.
the last, because that was really good. Excellent. Honeymoon's over.
Honeymoon's over. There it is. All right, let's go ahead and rate Naruto. I'm sorry. Let's rate TNC. Exactly. It got me. Let's go ahead and rate Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Naruto crossover number 1. Oscor, give us your rating, friend. Oh, damn. I didn't mean to do that.
You dropped me.
That was my fault.
That's why
I hit the wrong button.
Everybody's divorcing you.
That's why. Like,
I'm probably gonna go with a 4 because the art is amazing in it, and all my issues with this book is just I'm not into Naruto like that, but a lot of people are. So I think anybody that is probably get a lot more enjoyment out of this book than I did. Although Jay didn't seem to like it much.
He doesn't like Naruto either.
Oh well, then yeah, there you go.
No, but Jay.
Let him speak for himself, right? He's a grown man. Yeah,
he's a grown man. Moses Magnum, what would you rate Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Naruto crossover number 1?
I mean, since it was my idea to do it over at IDW, it's a 5 out of 5. No, I'm kidding. No, it is. I do enjoy it a lot as a 5 out of 5, especially because as much as I do like Naruto, I'm not caught up. Like, I'm still like on episode 248 or something, and
till the beginning.
Yeah, he's literally like he's in a jacuzzi with Jiraiya right now, looking at girls. But yeah, it's definitely like I did have watched movies out of continuity, like filler movies, and I've enjoyed those too. And this is like another one of those, and it feels like it like in comic book form. Usually when they de-animate something and put it into comics that I'm used to animated, it doesn't fit right for me. Like I love The Simpsons. It's hard for me to read Simpsons comics. Yeah, shit like that. So seeing Naruto like that with the Ninja Turtles, like it flowed, and to me, it's just a testament of how good this book is. And then the art again, like Jorge Jimenez fucking killed that cover. As Heck says, like the most Latino name you ever heard. I hope he has his green card. But yeah, and then the dude doing the inside, Henry, whatever. I didn't catch when Larry said it, but that dude like gave us something good. So the expectations on the cover that you get from seeing the cover, you get from the inside, are met with the inside. So, and the story I enjoyed. So 5 out of 5 for me, man.
There it is.
As
for myself,
I was just gonna because
go ahead.
Mo mentioned
Green
Jimenez.
card. Yeah.
No, he's like his stuff has been really, really on point lately. He actually designed the Punchline statue that I reviewed.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
It's somewhere. I don't know how that works, but
he
designed it, and it's like one of my. it's one of my favorite statues that I have. So he's good. He's got skills.
Cool.
I can't afford him.
Right. TMNT Naruto crossover number 1. I'm giving that a 4.5 out of 5. Just because honestly, I don't know where this story is gonna go, but I got faith in it, and the art is amazing, and the character design and the world building is cool too. So yeah, that's what I'm giving it. Let's go. All right. Man, we got about 10 minutes. So like I know we'll do some final thoughts and all that.
Do you guys see the first 8 minutes of Craven, or
I haven't
like that?
But can we take off the Chiron?
Oh yes, we can. Listen,
this is why we need Joe.
Right, it's the only reason. The only reason we need Joe.
Well, that and I can mention Ruby and have a discussion about it.
But no, I'm not gonna watch 8 minutes of Craven and then have to watch 8 minutes of Craven again.
I mean, like, what? I mean, do we even see the radioactive lion bite in those 8 minutes?
No, it's like the opening scene. It's like when the Batman movie had that scene with Bane.
Yeah, the airplane scene.
Yeah.
And I'm like, again, like, I don't need to see 8 minutes of it. I don't want to watch 8 minutes of it or 90 minutes of it. Like, but you fuckers are making me have to.
Yeah,
this is gonna be the worst. This is gonna be the worst Animal Man movie ever made.
And that again, like that's what, it pisses me off because it's, well, I was talking to a client yesterday, and he's like, his wife was like, "You want to see that, don't you?" Because he's a big Spider-Man fan too, and he's like, "I mean, not if Spider-Man's not in it." And I told him, I'm like, I was willing to give this movie a little bit of a benefit of the doubt because I've read comics with Craven that have very little Spider-Man in it too, and they've been good. But I don't think this movie's going to be like any of those comics.
No.
And then he's like, yeah, that's my take on it too. But and then we laughed at the radioactive lion. And like, I mean, my hope, like, if Russell Crowe was just Craven, I'd be in. Yeah, like, he does a better Craven in that trailer than the Craven guy. Like, just, like,
he is Craven in that because he's the only one hunting stuff.
Right,
but the kid,
but he didn't get bit by the radioactive lion. His kid did. And this is some bullshit from these Hollywood writers that read the book Blink, and it's like, oh, if your parent was something, you have the chance to be better because you studied from them, learning as you grew, and all this bullshit. And they're using that to do this, but it's like, you don't need to do that in a fucking movie about a supervillain,
Like, is he gonna end up? That's his dad, right?
Right. But
and
that is like head of a syndicate, like a mafia syndicate.
Right. And so the dad's the bad guy.
Right. He's gonna have to hunt his own dad. Like, he's the lion, the cub that has to fight the head of the pride.
Are they?
And look,
I
don't like. I want to see Mufasa, so I'm okay with that stuff. I just this movie doesn't need that. Yeah.
Are there going to be like scenes in this movie with those two guys like coming at each other to punch each other, and then like lions like roar in the background?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I wouldn't.
Look, they're both going to be wearing fur while they do it.
They're going to be wearing fur. They're going to be.
Yeah. And here's the thing: if again, if they would let MCU do it, like, they could do like a side story with like just Craven trying to like get something extra, some endangered species that went into Wakanda, and he's like, I'm hunting this, and then he's got to fight like M'Baku, and it's like a lion versus an ape, and that would be the shit.
Yeah,
but they're not going to do that. And again, I'm here for you, Sony. I'll do it for free.
That actually does sound pretty cool.
That would be the shit. Like, if you're going to do something without Spider-Man, that would be it. Like him, a white man in Africa trying to like conquer something that even mythological, some sort of Black Panther, and it turns out it's like, oh shit, the Black Panther's a human, not a mythical beast, I
actually like that story.
That would be great.
Like,
that sounds really
good. Wanted to fight a Black Panther, here I am. And then he's like, well, the hunter's code, I gotta hunt you, sorry. And then a fight ensues. Him with his, I would forgive the radioactive lion bite.
No,
if it made him able to fight T'Challa or even T'Chaka, so that you don't have to fuck with the movie, and they would fight with the vibranium and the radioactive, the speed and strength and agility of, equivalent of a lion. Although that would be diminished, right? Because he's smaller. Like where Spider-Man is, because he's big, he has the proportionate strength. So with him, the proportionate strength of a lion, if he was a 230-pound man, instead of a 500-pound beast. But yeah, it turns out I'm just like human strength. But I have hands. And I grew a beard finally. Yeah. But yeah,
it connected.
Yeah, exactly. My mustache and my goatee connect fine. Like for that, he should have taken horse testosterone.
Well,
as you can tell, I smoked a bit of weed earlier.
We'll all find out in a week and a half when it comes out.
I don't want to see this, dudes.
That's so wild.
It'll be a Christmas classic.
We should definitely go together so that it's like we can at least commiserate.
And then have ramen.
You're right. There it is.
It's a date between you two.
Yeah. Jay's not invited because he didn't hear the invitation. We might need him to drive. So yeah.
All right, give us some final thoughts, Oz.
She's craving in a week. We're gonna be watching this every Christmas for the next 20 years. It's gonna be a tradition.
Does it even have a Christmas like theme in it?
I mean, the scene was in Russia, so there was snow. You got that. The blood was red. You know.
And the savannah's green. So yeah, red and green and white. Okay.
There it is. All right, Oz. Take it easy, man. Thanks.
All right.
Moses Magnum, final thoughts.
If you liked our Star Wars talk, there's a Mo deal. Humble Bundle right now has the Disney collection. You can get you can get the complete saga of Star Wars Lego, Pirates of the Caribbean, and Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones 2, Star Wars 3, the Monkey Island series, the Emperor's Tomb, Indiana Jones. This is where it gets good with Star Wars. Empire at War, Knights of the Old Republic 2, The Old Republic, Knights of the Old Republic 1, Force Unleashed, Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, Galactic Battleground, Star Wars Rebellion, and Star Wars Republic Commando. And you can get that for $10. And they're deck playable on Steam.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a lot of good games right there. Like you could have just put like 3 of those games together for $10 and be like, I'm in.
Like just the two Old Republic, like Knights of the Old Republic.
Such good games.
And then I didn't even realize it had Force Unleashed till after I downloaded. Like when I redeemed my code, and I'm like, but unfortunately, Force Unleashed is not that one, and it says deck playable on Humble Bundle, but it's not. Oh no, yeah. Okay, it's the Proton. Yeah, the next update that Steam Deck has, it should be available. So.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll see. But
yeah, man. Those are good games.
Republic
yeah, great
was a
deal.
good game too. Yeah. So.
Yeah, absolutely. For the entire Fantastic Forum, thank you all so much for hanging out with us. We appreciate you. Look, we're winding down to the end of the year. If there's something you want us to talk about, something you want to say to us, definitely, make sure you're around for these next couple shows, because after that, that's going to be it for 2024, man. Like Christmas and New Year's Day fall on a Wednesday, so we're not going to be around for those, man. But we just want to make sure that we hear from you all before the year's out. If you have anything you want to say, and just let you know that we always appreciate your support. You all are awesome as an audience, and we appreciate you continually. So, yeah, we're the Fantastic Forum. Have a good night.